Nobody knows why déjà vu betrays memory, the brain's dark secret. In 1955, inside the Montreal Neurological Institute, a fully conscious woman on an operating table relived a memory that never happened to her. A neurosurgeon's electrode had just touched one fold of tissue in her brain, and to this day, doctors still cannot explain how that single touch manufactured a false past in real time. Her name is lost to the case files. She's listed only as a patient of Dr. Wilder Penfield, a Canadian neurosurgeon treating severe epilepsy. The surgery is an awake craniotomy, no general anesthesia. Her skull is open. Her brain has no pain receptors, so she talks to him while he works, guiding him with her own voice as he searches for the exact patch of tissue triggering her seizures. He touches one point with a thin electrode. Then he waits for her to describe what she feels. She doesn't flinch. She goes still. She tells him this exact moment, the room, his voice, the position of her own hands has happened before. Not similar to before, identical to before. He lifts the electrode. The feeling vanishes instantly like a light switching off. He touches the same spot again. It comes back. On command, in a matter of seconds, he had reproduced déjà vu inside a living, conscious human being at will with nothing but electricity. The obvious theory formed fast, and it's the one you've probably already heard. Déjà vu, doctors assumed, is a memory misfire. Two circuits in the brain that are supposed to fire in sequence accidentally fire together, and the brain reads that overlap as an old memory resurfacing. A glitch in the wiring, harmless, explainable, tidy, except it isn't. Because when Penfield touched that same region in other patients, he didn't get the same memory. He got different ones entirely: a childhood kitchen, a stranger's laugh, a song none of them could name. If déjà vu were a fixed circuit misfiring the same way every time, the output should have been consistent. It wasn't. Worse, the theory assumes something has to be electrically or neurologically abnormal for déjà vu to occur: a seizure, a stimulated cortex, a damaged brain. But healthy people with no epilepsy, no lesions, no surgical history report déjà vu constantly, spontaneously, with nothing touching their brains at all. Whatever was happening under that electrode in Montreal was also happening, unprompted, in ordinary people standing in ordinary kitchens. The glitch theory couldn't account for people who had never been glitched. So researchers went looking for where the feeling actually starts, and that's where it gets stranger. The region under Penfield's electrode sits near the rhinal cortex, a strip of tissue whose job is to answer one question instantly before you're even aware you asked it. Have I seen this before, yes or no? It's a familiarity switch, nothing more. It doesn't store the memory. It doesn't check the memory. It just flags things as new or old, milliseconds ahead of conscious thought. In 2012, a researcher named Akira O'Connor at the University of St. Andrews found a way to trip that switch in a lab. He fed volunteers lists of related words, then asked if a word he'd never said sounded familiar. It did. People reported déjà vu on command, without hypnosis, without surgery, without a single true memory to explain it. And when he scanned their brains during the feeling, the memory centers stayed quiet. The activity lit up somewhere else entirely, the frontal cortex, the region that checks memories for accuracy, not the part that remembers, the part that fact-checks. Which means déjà vu may not be a memory surfacing at all. It may be the sound of your brain catching itself in an error it can't identify, flagging something as familiar, then failing to find the memory to back it up, and showing you the failure instead of hiding it. Other explanations have tried to close the case. The dual processing theory says two visual pathways momentarily fall out of sync, one arriving in consciousness a beat behind the other, tricking you into reading the present as the past. The hologram theory says a single familiar detail, a door frame, a tone of voice, can trigger your brain to falsely reconstruct an entire scene as remembered. Each theory explains a piece. None explain why the feeling arrives with such total physical certainty. None explain why it fades sharply after adolescence, or why people with more travel and more memories report it less, not more, the opposite of what a simple overlap theory would predict. Nobody has ever caught the exact moment the error begins. Nobody knows why the brain bothers to tell you it made a mistake, instead of simply making it silently, the way it does thousands of times a day without your notice. And nobody can explain what it means that somewhere behind your own eyes, right now, there is a system built entirely to catch your brain lying to you, and you have absolutely no way of knowing how often it's wrong, and simply doesn't tell you.